House of Orange TV is live and coming at you. Tennessee 11, Oakland 2 tonight. An interesting game. I thought a lot of fascinating aspects of this game tonight. Specifically the lineup, specifically the pitching. A lot of interesting things. The initial announcement of the lineup kind of excited me tonight, to be honest with you. But hit that like, hit that share. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Hopefully you are. Check out the links, channel, Patreon, channel memberships. Now that's going on. 11-2 on the night. Tennessee is now won 4 in a row, ladies and gentlemen. That is called a winning streak. And they go into Wright State comes into Knoxville this weekend. And I haven't looked. Wright State, they've probably played midweek. They were 4-6. Coming down. I know they had beaten Kent State once, but they'd beaten Georgia once as well, but they'd gotten swept by Charlotte. Georgia, of course, lost 2 of 3 in that one as well. But interesting lineup today, I thought. When I first got it, I'd gotten a text that said, big lineup change. And I hadn't looked, and I pulled it up, and it was I liked it. I really did. I liked what they did today as well. Yeah, let's give it up, man. This fired me up right here. I'm going to hit the other comments too. But Ariel Antigua comes in, pinch hits for Jay Abernathy late. First career bomb, 3-run bomb. Man, and it was when he hit it, you know it was gone. It was that was really cool for me. You guys know I would love to see Antigua. And this is nothing against anybody. I'm just an Antigua fan. Love watching him play. Man, if he could get his bat going, the defense is always going to be there on it. Good for him, big time for him. But when I first saw the lineup, talked about it Sunday based on Josh Elander's press conference in the comments, where he said Blake Grimmer and Garrett Wright were close. Well, they were in the lineup tonight. And of question 2 with Manny Marin, with Ariel Antigua, both, around 190. It's like, could you see some other looks, possibly at Jay Abernathy and infield Chris Newstrom? We saw it tonight. I thought it was a very interesting lineup. I'll be curious to see what they do this weekend against Wright State. But tonight, get back to it. Your starting lineup tonight, starting 9, and they hit a lot of guys tonight. Jay Abernathy led off, played second base. He was 1 for 3. On the night. He had a walk, had a strikeout. That strikeout was that strike 3 was a little questionable. It was a little questionable. It was high and it was outside. Even the catcher was about to throw it back to the pitcher, and the umpire called it strike 3. And then he twisted and threw it down the third. So I don't think anybody in the ballpark thought that was strike 3, but it is what it is sometimes. The umpires are human. They do miss them. 2 on it. Henry Ford batted second, played third. He was 1 for 3. He had 2 runs scored, had a walk as well. He had a stolen base on it. And I'm just going through the starting lineup right now as my dog's over here trying to get into all these toys. But Blaine Brown, 2 for 3, had a bomb, had a double tonight. 2 runs scored for him on it. Reese Chapman, 1 for 3 tonight. Reese Chapman was 3 for 3 last night against ETSU. The biggest thing for me is, can Reese Chapman put it together against good competition? We saw in Texas this weekend. He had a rough weekend. Hitting the midweek competition or the non-conference has really not been an issue. It's hitting the better competition. And so, you're going to continue to see that as well. Blake Grimmer, again, back in the lineup tonight. First start back. First thing, he hits one off the wall in the first inning. But 3 for 4 for him tonight. 2 RBIs, 2 doubles, a run scored. Did strike out once. Garrett Wright was back. Garrett Wright in center field tonight. He was 2 for 3. He had a beautiful bunt. At one point, he was hit by a pitch twice. And if I'm not mistaken, he was like one of the leaders in the country last year in hit by pitch. And I don't know what it is, but he had 2 already tonight. But good night for him. Chris Newstrom, I thought this was interesting, started at shortstop tonight He was 0 for 4, had an RBI on the night. But Newstrom had been he swung a good bat over the weekend. He swung a good bat last night against ETSU as well. I think it's an interesting look. And it's one I wonder because he was recruited. He come in as a shortstop. The guy can literally play anywhere in the field. I mean, we saw him play first base. What was it, Sunday against Virginia Tech? I'm trying to think. I mean, the guy can literally catch. He's a really good catcher. Everything I've been told too. So an interesting look on that one with Chris Newstrom at shortstop. And again, I'm interested to see what we see this weekend because it's one of those things where I just don't think you can justify guys hitting 190 in the lineup right now. Maybe they get going. And I certainly think Manny Marin has the potential to get going. And hopefully, or Antigua, maybe Antigua with that bomb tonight gets going. But I like that they switched it up a little bit tonight. I really do on that one. You had Trent Grinlinger started behind the plate tonight. He was 1 for 5 with an RBI, and then Taylor Tracy pitched and DH'd tonight. He was awesome on the mound. 0 for the night. He was 0 for the night at the plate. 0 for 2 with the strikeout. I was wanting to see him hit, though. I'm glad we got to see him hit. But, man, he was excellent on the mound tonight. 3 innings, no hits, 7 strikeouts, 43 pitches, 27 strikes on the night. Nice job by him. 7 Ks, 1 ground out, 1 fly out. Excellent night for him with it. Nick Abraham comes in, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts. Did hit a batter on the night. And then you had 2 guys make their debuts tonight. And this was why I said the lineups were interesting, what we saw tonight, because you saw the debuts of Blake Grimmer, Garrett Wright, in the hitting lineup. You saw the debuts of Jax Bishop and Will Haas tonight. And I thought these were guys that were going to be done for the year. But now I don't know the version of Tommy John that they had, but it was not that. Anyhow, they both made their debuts tonight. Bishop gave up a hit, a run. Will Haas gave up 2 hits and a run. Both of them did give up a home run all night. We saw Ethan Biotto go an inning, 1 strikeout. Chandler Day went a third, and then Sawyer Deering finished it off with 2 outs to end the game tonight. Now, batting-wise as well, of course, we saw some of you mentioned in the comments, Ariel Antigua, 3-run bomb tonight. That was so cool to see for him. Finley Bates pinch hit, got hit by a pitch. Hunter High pinch hit and walked. Evan Hankins, he was in, let's see, he went 0 for 2. Nathan Eisfelder, 0 for 1 when he came in. Manny Marin walked in his 1 appearance, and Tyler Myatt come in was 0 for 2 as well. So, where do they go this weekend going forward? So let me hit all all 4 comments. We got 33 of you in here again. I like to do these. We probably won't go too long. We'll see how it goes on it. But Mason Guest, member of the channel. What's up, dude? Says, great to see the aerial bomb. Been waiting for it. Man, I have too. Confused on how he was so effective at the plate during the summer and fall ball, but just hasn't had it in the season. Very confusing. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point. Now, interesting thing is it says his average is up to 261, which is not too bad there as well. I think he was 1 for 3 in his start Sunday. It was, I think it was an infield hit, and then he goes 1 for 1 tonight. So, not too bad. Not too bad what he's doing there. It is interesting because he hit really well in summer ball as well. So, I don't know. I don't know what you do there at short. It's an interesting thing that they have there because you've got some players. I mean, Marin can play. Antigua can play. Newstrom can get it done. Newstrom can play anywhere. But you could put Jay Abernathy there as well. It's interesting, but yeah, for sure. I think Grimmer and Wright are definitely in the lineup here. Guys, I've got to take care hang on just one second. All right, sorry about that. So, yeah, I think you've got to. I don't know. I've been any of you guys that have listened to me, and I think most of you have, knows how high I am on Blake Grimmer coming into this season. I think he is a big addition to this lineup. We saw it 3 for 4 tonight. He's got big time pop. I think if he would have been in the lineup from the get-go, he and Blaine Brown would probably be competing for the most home runs on this team. Just my opinion on it. But the thing with Grimmer, like anybody else, these have to translate to SEC play and the bigger teams on it. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, give it up for Antigua getting a dinger. Yeah, he was fired up, and good for him, man. That one's been coming. It's been coming. Good for him. I don't blame him for being fired up. Doesn't matter who it was. He finally got it. He got that weight off his shoulders to get that home run because it's been talked about that he can hit them, and he's been close before, but to finally get it was pretty awesome to see. Hunter Spencer 9335 for $5. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your generosity. Said, let's go, Frank. Love the lineup. Grimmer has to be in the lineup. I totally agree with you on that. But thank you so much for your generosity tonight and other nights as well. I know you've contributed numerous times. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much on that one. Yeah, a bit of sad news in the sporting day. Lou Holtz passed away. Lou, he's been around Notre Dame, South Carolina. I mean, he did a pretty good job. He definitely did a heck of a job at Notre Dame. I can't remember where he was at before that. I know he's been around for years, but of course we saw him in the ESPN studios for years. Sad day losing Lou Holtz. He was a good one as well. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to hit this one, and then I'm going to hit your boy's comment here because I think he just took the words right out of my mouth. So much potential. Elander has a tough job figuring. I was about to say this exact same thing, that I do not envy Josh Elander with this lineup, and I saw that comment and stopped on it. Good comment right here. I don't know what you do going into the weekend about Wright State. Do you kind of switch it up some over the weekend? I think the difference is, Taylor Tracy DH night. Levi Clark's going to be back in. He'll be up in the middle of that lineup. No doubt they give him a night off tonight. I would expect you'll see Stone Lawless back at catcher as well. But I'm interested to see what they do in that middle infield. Do they roll with Newstrom and Abernathy again? Keep Garrett Wright in center field? What do they do? Somebody's going to DH out of Blaine Brown, Blake Grimmer, or, possibly even Stone Lawless. If you put Levi Clark behind the plate. Frankly, at this point, I think that Levi Clark has done a much better job behind the plate than Stone Lawless has. But Stone Lawless has hit better, even though I thought Levi Clark made some progress this past weekend. And I think he only had a couple hits, but he hit some hard balls. I really think Levi Clark is close to getting going, and he needs to be in the lineup for sure. Taylor Tracy made a case for himself to be in the mix on the weekends for sure, to be a bullpen guy. He was excellent tonight. And I'll be honest, coming in, I didn't realize he was the two-way threat that he is. And I laughed. I think it was the first time he was coming up to bat. I kind of laughed about it. I was like, you don't see it often. The pitcher comes off the field and then he's got to get his helmet on and go up to bat. I got a little bit of a laugh out of that one because we just don't see the two-way guys much anymore. I'm trying to think last time we'd seen him at Tennessee. I know Drew Gilbert did it a little bit, and then he focused primarily on center field. But Taylor Tracy, he's pitching really well for them. He come in against UCLA, had a hit and a walk, and they pulled him out. But, he definitely made a case for himself tonight for sure. I think that Tennessee, it'd be a good thing for them. Be nice to see him bounce back and get a sweep this weekend with it. You had a tough weekend against Kent State. you had the tough start against UCLA, and then they bounced back with good wins over Arizona State, Virginia Tech. I still don't think, what we've seen at this point, the offense is clicking on all cylinders. But again, I mean, you look at what Blake Grimmer did tonight. Garrett Wright come in. Garrett Wright laid a great bunt down first baseline, and there was nobody there to beat it out. It's kind of interesting to see what they'll do here. After the last few games, how would you have the lineup for this weekend against Wright? The only difference I would have tonight, and I'm still iffy on the catcher position, but Tracy is he pitched, he DH tonight. You're going to have Levi Clark somewhere in there. And, I think Stone Lawless will be in. I think Stone's hitting pretty good. I think you got to take that a little bit. But, the worst case, though, of Stone, I think Stone's had a rough time behind the plate. Worst case, DH him. His bat has been good enough to be in there. I don't know behind the plate. I think he's a better catcher than what he's shown as well. But, right now, to be honest with you, I really liked what they had tonight with and I like Tyler Myatt, but I don't know, man. It's a tough one with it. It is a tough one for me because you've got Chapman's going to be in right. If Garrett Wright, maybe you play Garrett Wright in center. Blaine Brown's either going to be in left or DH. There's no doubt about that. You could put Grimmer in left. There's numerous ways on that. Grimmer first, Abernathy second, Newstrom at short, Ford at third. I'll be honest, I don't hate that middle infield. I actually kind of like it, to be honest with you, with Newstrom and Abernathy in there, because they're going to hit. Those guys are going to hit and get on base. And I think Ford's got the athleticism to play third. He had some tough moments over the weekend, but he's made some good plays as well. And then behind the plate, do you go with Levi Clark, who, again, I think he's looked better than Lawless, or do you go Stone Lawless? And, if you do that, Levi Clark's probably here's what I look at, too. Who's a better first baseman from a fielding standpoint, Blake Grimmer or Levi Clark? Because Clark, his ability to stretch and scoop has been a little questionable with it, where Stone Lawless behind the plate has been a little questionable. Stone Lawless can play first as well, so I would be curious what his ability to scoop is. But I think I like the lineup tonight. I really do. And again, I think you're going to probably – I don't think Grinlinger's going to get a lot of run. I would like to see him get more run. I'm pretty high on Trent Grinlinger. And Taylor Tracy, I'd like to see him get more at bats, but right now he's not in line to take him from a Clark or a Lawless. So, yeah, I think I would agree with this one, Sasquatch. I'll be disappointed if they don't sweep this weekend. They need to sweep this weekend, and then they've got I'm trying to think. I'm pulling the schedule back up. I pulled a couple things up on it. You've got Wright State this weekend. You got Tennessee Tech next Tuesday, and then you start SEC play March 13th at Georgia. That'll be a tough one to start out. We'll see how they do. Tennessee's got the pitching. They've got the starting pitching on it. Brandon Arvidson's going to be fine. The outing he had this weekend, sometimes you just don't have it. And, that was one of them. He's going to be good there. What's up, Dave? Good to see you on here, man. Appreciate you chiming in. Appreciate you listening here. Probably go a couple more minutes on this one. I don't have any reason to think there'll be any change in the rotation this weekend with Coons, Mack, Blanco, and then, again, Wright State, will they test Tennessee some? It's possible. They're normally a pretty good team on here. Again, I know they lost 2 or 3 against Georgia. I know Charlotte swept them. I'm not sure how good Charlotte is this year. I've not looked at that. Charlotte sometimes has some decent teams. They beat Kent State once. I'm not sure if they played midweek this week or not. I could look at it real quick to see. Let's see. Doesn't look like. See, lost 2 of 3 to Georgia, got swept by Charlotte, beat Kent State, beat Campbell 2 out of 3. So they are 4-6 right now, and they were supposed to play Miami of Ohio last night, and they got postponed. So they'll come in 4-6 this weekend. Again, I mean, we know we've got a little bit of history with Wright State going back to the Drew Gilbert the home run that still hasn't landed. 5 years later at this point? One of the craziest moments in Tennessee baseball that we've seen there. But 4 wins in a row, again, a good weekend. We know ETSU come in and beat them last night, kind of hitting that one, so I wasn't able to. I mean, you got, fittingly enough, Brady Frederick gets the win. Blaine Brown started. Blaine Brown didn't have it last night. He didn't even record a single out last night. 2 walks, 1 hit by pitch, and then he was facing the 4th batter, and they pulled him, and Frederick come in and did a pretty good – he gave up a run, but I thought he did a really good job getting out of that jam. And then he went 3 innings on it with a walk, 3 Ks. Cam Appenzeller went 2 with 4 strikeouts and a hit. Arvidsson went an inning with 2 strikeouts, a hit. Mark Handy, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, 2 hits. Bo Rudy, I thought, was a real positive. Went 2 innings, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. So 15 total strikeouts for that pitching staff last night. And that was all weekend guys other than Blaine Brown, which I wonder at what point they could possibly use him. But you're going to see Frederick, Appenzeller, Arvidsson, Handy, and Rudy on the weekends. There's no doubt about that. And then your lineup was, again, there was a big change because last time it was Abernathy, Ford, Brown, Clark, Chapman, Lawless, Myatt, Newstrom, Marin. That was your starting lineup last night. And, I mean, your Abernathy 2 for 4, Ford 2 for 5, but Clark was over, Lawless was over, Myatt was over, and then they all set tonight. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it got some other guys some playing time as well. And again, I think Myatt's one of your best guys and needs to be in that lineup. But gosh, I don't know. I think you've got 11, 12, 13 guys. You've got decisions to make. I just saw something about this. I don't know exactly what the deal is with that. There's something with Blaine Brown and NIL with Rice. So I'm not up to date on that right now. I need to read up more on it. I just caught it really not too long ago. So I wouldn't think there's anything to be concerned about. But again, I don't know all the specifics of it yet either. Yeah, dude, there's no doubt about that. That Drew Gilbert bomb was insane. It was a top moment. I will still find that video on YouTube and watch it occasionally. And if I pull it up to watch it once, I normally watch it about 10 times. So, but we'll see what's scheduled like for the House of Orange this weekend. But definitely there'll be some live. We'll kind of see when on that. I'll post on the board because I'm not really sure and I don't want to say something and not back it up like I've done too much recently. But I'm going to wrap up on that, guys. I appreciate you coming in on this one. Tennessee 11, Oakland 2, 4 in a row. They roll in this weekend against Wright State. This is Frank. This is the House of Orange. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you when I see you.